Welcome back to the Castanets. That tune was amazing.
I know, it's like some James Bond stuff or something. I don't know.
This is Kevin and Dennis. I don't know his surname. How'd you say it? Meyer?
Meyer.
What
was that accent?
Meyer? I don't know.
Meyer? I don't even know what that is.
It was just
is that accent. Like an American? A very terrible
You all
American?
sound stupid over here anyway. Whatever. Let's go straight to the brackets for today. Well, not the brackets, but the actual table, and see exactly where we stand over in North America this week.
Stupid?
Well, look at you. Look at you. You don't have a tie.
You are just a savage.
NA standings, as I said. Let's go.
You've just been a savage this week. Taking a look at the top, though, AFK Gaming, Team Ullr might be able to tie them here. Ullr does have a double header, though, but today it's going to be facing off against Cognitive Gaming. And a lot of DSM Denial trading out, and the rest, you know, this first week's kind of just who's going to take the running lead.
Exactly.
In a couple more weeks, we'll have more definitive standings.
Exactly. Cognitive have a point to prove, though. They can bring themselves up in the standings 2-2-2 if they can defeat Ullr here. But speaking of them, let's have a look at their team profile as you bring it up on the screen. A new roster.
Yep, 4 new members.
They've got the Invisible Man.
And an Invisible Man and Kabam, just like Wiggles, get your picture in. Dan is going to come hunt you down and find you. Meerkat, though, remaining in the solo lane, bringing in DJ Pernicus for the jungle, the best in the mid, and then that Aurora Kabam duo lane. And looking at all the free agents in North America going into the fall split, this is probably one of the best teams you could draft on paper.
And let's talk about 2 of those members are both ex-Ullr players as well.
Yes.
Aurora, the most recent, and the best used to be in mid lane for him as well. So those 2 should have some inkling into Ullr's play style.
Yeah, I really think Aurora's going to have the biggest advantage here in this duo lane because it's much easier as a support to try and take the knowledge of your former hunter and apply it against him, especially someone like Zapman who is very aggressive.
Yeah.
It's someone that you might be able to bait depending. You know when he wards, you know where he wards, you know what he likes to do.
So we'll see if they can actually look to abuse that during this game. So between these 2 teams as well, when you look at them just on paper, you favoured for Ullr with this one originally in the predictions, I believe?
Yeah, I think most of us did favor Ullr. I believe they're the clear favorites going in. On paper, I think they're better, and the fact that Cog wasn't able to perform in their first week 1 matchup kind of shows that they need a little bit more time together. But to be fair, before their week 1 matchup against Enemy, they had 2-3 days together. This time they've got a full week of practice and scrims, so we might be seeing a new team.
Full week of scrims for them. And there is the Ullr profile on your screen right about now. The boys that have been around for a while, most of them, Polar Bear Mike is the newest addition. The rest of the squad, actually, he's not the newest addition anymore because it's Omega.
Yeah, Omega just recently joining this roster after leaving Cloud9. Wasn't really happy with that team, and the fact that
he went to another team that was in blue, though. He was
yeah, I know. I was about to say that too. I was like, Omega's the only one in Ullr blue. I mean, it's a little different shade, but it's close enough. It's a turquoise for Ullr, but
you know what Omega means, do you?
Hold on. The biggest thing I want to talk about with Omega here is that he left Cloud9 for Ullr, and no matter what you think about Omega, one thing I do know is that he plays to win.
He does.
And he's not going to jump ship to Ullr unless he believes this roster can get to Worlds.
He believes they can get to Worlds, and so far so good. They did win the first set 2-0. Let's see if they can win the second one 2-0 as well as we go into picks and bans of this first game against Cognitive. What are you expecting here?
Ao to be banned.
Just Ao Kwang in general?
Yeah.
I mean, Ullr's last 2 games, they banned Geb Ymir, Geb Athena when they last faced off last week.
Yeah, they were first pick for those matches, though, which is very important. If you're not, or if you are first pick, you typically want to leave Ao open. I'm not really sure what happened in that last matchup in Europe where Ao was left open, but in North America, there's a lot of junglers and even solo laners that like this god. First ban, though, it's going to be Sylvanas coming out from Cognitive Gaming, and that's no surprise either. Sylvanas still one of the most dominant supports overall and the strongest in lane.
And you called the Ao Kwang ban, and there it is. Ullr were first pick both games last week. This time round, though, second pick in this first game against Cognitive. Cognitive did focus a lot of bans on Bellona and Ao Kwang when they would be in the second pick option as well. So we'll see where they're going to head with the next one. It's going to be an Athena taken away off the table.
We could see Geb in response here simply to take away all of the support options or the primary support options for Aurora. But we know Aurora will play anything in support. He'll play the Ares, he'll play the Fenrir.
That's
yeah,
a big point.
Fenrir is a big one
very
too.
strong right now. With Giannis taken off the table, that does mean Fenrir is available, as is Bellona. And it's Cognitive Gaming to have the first option of choice.
They're not going to first pick Fenrir for
Bellona?
sure. Bellona is...
Why wouldn't you first pick Fenrir?
Because it's not something that you can play into every matchup. I don't know.
Flex. Jungle, solo.
It is flex, but Aurora said he doesn't like it too much, and Aurora likes the pick, but he doesn't like first picking it. He likes picking it into certain team comps. I'm not exactly sure the dynamics on that for Fenrir support, but it's something that you bring out every once in a while in a needed matchup. It's not something you run typically because people get used to it, but it is going to be the Bellona first pick coming up from Cog, which is no surprise. Typically, if we see her up and really Ao Kwang, the powerhouse, band out, she's going to be drafted there.
Thought I'd see that, the Ymir and Geb pick up there, so that will be more than likely a Ymir in the jungle for Dare to Care. Could be run by Omega in the solo. More than likely not going to see that, but taking a Geb away means that they have no way to really deal with Ymir's freezes.
No, but they're going to draft Bacchus in response. Really the only support left outside of Ares, I would say.
Sobek as well.
Sobek is there, but all the top supports they've been taking out. They've been taken out, and that's what's important.
Everybody forgot about Kumba. He's the only one that gets forgotten about.
No one cares about Kumba.
They will soon enough. Dun dun dun! Medusa has also been locked in for Cognitive Gaming. So their duo lane has been locked in. What are we going to see from Eager here? Will they look for the Hunter or a primary mid pick?
Probably a mid. Yeah, I expect a mid here. You almost never see a mid drafted in the second half of the draft. Players like to get their mage because that is the centerpiece to your gameplay early on. I mean, the mid, jungle, and support, they control the first 10 to 15 minutes. They control the flow and the pace of your game, so you want to draft them early and look for something specific.
Nice respect from Eager there to ban out Scylla from the best, who's going to be playing in the mid lane there. I can understand them drafting in their Hunter early, though, Cognitive, because they are going to be up against Zapman, and they're going to want their Hunter comfortable there. We can see when we do see Zapman go off like he did last week, up against the boys there. Vesalius did not have the best of games.
No, that was like Season 1 Zapman. Yeah. That was like pre-Season 1 Zapman. Zapman was super aggressive, taking huge 1v1s, even 1v2s, and really shut down Vesalius here. It's going to be interesting, though, because he's going against Kabam, who a little bit more veteran to the SPL. He did sub in for Eager last split.
He didn't have the strongest game last time we saw him the first week of the SPL. He didn't look amazing, but he looked okay.
Yeah, he definitely looked solid, and he was a great sub for Eager here. Ratotoskr picked up in Serqet as well. Serqet is actually a god we've been seeing banned a lot, so I'm surprised to see it picked up here in the second half of the phase, which means likely that Ymir will be going solo, and Serqet going to be taken to the jungle.
Could well be. What's the last pick going to be to round out this squad? Are they looking for a Hunter more than likely? They probably don't want more magical, so you won't see the Freya pick here or a Kronos. So we're looking down the Hunter pool at what Zapman's going to pull out. Could be Ullr. We've seen a lot of it from him before, and there it is.
Good read. Good read. That's definitely Zapman's go-to. There's a lot of outplay potential with this god, which is what Zapman excels at. He wants to outplay you. He has a lot of options. He has a move speed increase on his 2. He has a stun. He has a leap, stance switch, and he has a huge burst combo with that too.
The crowd control coming out from Eager in this game, though. 2 big frontline bully guardians there. Cataclysm and Frost Breath both going to be effective. And then they've still got this Isis in the mid lane as well. And we will see Omega playing this Ymir in the solo lane. This is something that Eager did when Anatoly was on the roster.
And when I first saw this Ymir drafted, I was like, this is not an Omega god. I
thought that's what I
don't know what to say. I
felt that too.
I'm just like, this does not feel like a god that Omega would play. This is an Anatoly god for sure.
Yeah, but then when I saw Dare to Care's in the jungle, I was like, I don't really see Dare to Care playing much Ymir either, really. I didn't expect him to go that route. So one of them was going to pull it out. It's going to be Omega, and it's going to be up against Meerkat's Bellona. So that lane, honestly, should be in Ymir's favor early just because of how decimating his wave clear can be.
Yeah, not only his wave clear, but the most important thing when facing a Bellona is having something that can stun out that bludgeon, which is the primary wave clear for her. So if you have, a Hades who can silence it or Ymir who can freeze it, it forces her to start leveling up her Scourge, which while the wave clear isn't as strong, she gets a little bit of healing, but she's at risk for taking more poke damage, which is going to be rough against Ymir, whose Frostbite passive, when they auto-attack early on, Ymir should win that out.
Well, we're going to see both teams do the complete same start here. Both mid laners are opting to take the red buff with the help of their support and Hunter, and then head over to the purple buff. Meanwhile, the jungle and solo laners, they did the standard speed blue, so last season's playstyle.
Yeah, we are seeing last season's playstyle. We're going to ride along with Blastus here in the mid lane. Many players see that the Agni is the typical or, the well-known counter to Isis. You're able to stun out a lot of her moves, especially Wing Dust early on. But speaking of early on, DJ Pernicus is already in mid lane.
that was really good poke from Lassis, but he traded it back out thanks to the support of DJ Pernicus.
Look at the best health.
Below half health, has to use that health potion early. He wouldn't have wanted to do that if he could help it. He definitely has to use it now, but he's not going to lose those mid-caps.
His dash is down. They're looking for a kill here. There's the dash by DJ,
down.
yeah.
Not going to be able to get out of that. Nice Spirit Ball again onto the best. Lassis landing 3 Spirit Balls so far.
In a row, like max range.
All on the best.
Yeah, not something a lot of people don't know is that there's going to be more damage. The best in trouble here. He dashes into the wall.
That was a dash just to get out of dodge wherever he was. He was trying to avoid the Spirit Ball, so it worked out okay for him for now. But the best, his health potion has run out now, as you can see. And so he's going to be sat at half health, so it's going to be a quick trip back to base for him soon. Gotta watch his positioning in that lane.
I'm really not surprised to see this amount of aggression come out from Ymir. They definitely have the early game. Cognitive Gaming's roster is really more focused around this mid-game team fight. A lot of AoEs, a lot of gods that become much stronger once they hit level 5.
So Serqet's ganking the duo lane here, going to put some pressure onto Kabam, who's now out of mana, so won't be able to lacerate away. Oh, Zap did not manage to find the damage with that spear arrow.
Yeah, if his 3 was up, he might have been able to snipe it, but not there. But already, they forced the best out of lane to miss a lot of experience, and Kabam at level 3, 2 minutes in, is forced out as well. So Eager controlling the pace of this game in the first couple minutes.
Good patience, though, from Pernicus and Best to hang around mid lane and not lose any experience there. I love what Lassis did then. It was such a small thing, though. Adonis. What he did was he hung in the jungle just to cover the option in case they tried to rotate to support duo, and he would have found himself a pick.
For sure, and that's that high level of play that we see coming out from the top couple teams in North America. Eager obviously trying to breach into that, able to take Omega away from Cloud9, and you know, this isn't the biggest test for them. They're facing Cognitive Gaming, a new roster, but it's something that they definitely want to win clearly or cleanly, and they're starting off strong.
Now, in terms of itemization here, Pernicus did just return back to base, picked up beads as well as Blink 1. So he's looking for the aggression. We know how his actives are going to be here. Going to be looking for those acorns into Blink, into dashing through to secure as much damage as possible.
We saw a lot of that come out from Cyclone Spin here yesterday, or excuse me, last week. The strength of it, we actually have an engagement here in the left lane.
Yes, Zap's going to take a lot of poke from Intoxicate. Does leap away, still drunk, but we know he knows how to deal with that, as he mentioned it once during the LAN broadcast, that you just step to the side twice and it's fine. You can walk straight.
Oh, see, I thought you were talking about, you know, he's just experienced in being drunk.
Oh, no, I would never make a comment like that. You're
of course
just
not.
rude, Adonis.
I was just confirming.
Dirty K did get spotted by Pernicus there on this side, and now he's going to come around and see if Omega's about. They should know blue buff's coming up soon, but they're going to look for some pressure on Omega here in this lane. He now realizes he's here as the damage comes out. There's the Eagles rally as well. The Frost Breath only connects with Meerkat. A great use of beads will pick up first blood for DJ Pernicus.
Great juke by DJ Pernicus. Not only avoiding the freeze, but keeping Ymir in place. And the big thing there is that instant burst that we saw. He pops the Flurry of Acorns, dashes through, and very quickly Omega was already under half, meaning he wasn't going to be able to sit there and charge up his ult. If he stood in place, he would have died. And, you know, he didn't stand in place, walked away, still died.
Pernicus gets himself up to first blood, and you can see there the slash lines for these two players coming into it. They've only played 2 games each, but you can already see how it's standing for Dare to Get 5.6 KDA with 41 points on Alpha Draft. We'll see if he can continue that march. But the damage-wise, hey, Pernicus is up there.
Yeah, they had a very long couple games with enemies, so we do see his damage relatively high, but they weren't able to eke out either of those wins. Clearly, you know, 1 week in, it's going to be favoring those players who won their games.
Of course, the beginning of this one. Bacchus has gone for the shoes of the Magi here. Starting to see a lot more Bacchus this week. We saw it over in EU. Myrmidon's played it both games, and now we're actually seeing it picked up by Aurora here. Don't think he would have chosen it if the other gods were available, but there was a lot of bans against the Guardians this game.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing happen a lot with Team Eager. They like to ban away Guardians and then take the others, and it really limits the options for their opponents. And we can see, you know, Cognitive forced into picking a Bacchus up in the first phase of the draft.
Well, Omega up against it now in this lane after taking a tumble thanks to the DJ Pernicus gank. And the pressure is well and truly on him. He did manage to pick up his blue buff though and secure that once that wasn't taken away. Now he's just got to be careful because Meerkat's going to continue the poking scam.
Yeah, Meerkat's going to continue this pressure, and this is smart of him. He's also got a very defensive, 2 very defensive wards, one up at the opponent's blue buff and another at the bottom of his Fire Giant. So Dedocare is really not going to be able to walk into this lane without Meerkat knowing, and Meerkat already knows he's here. Meerkat, or excuse me, not Meerkat, Dare to Care, just trying to give Omega some farm, but it's going to get turned on.
Gonna have to be a free soon. No, instantly bursted down by Pernicus and that flurry of Acorns. Omega, though, might be able to trade out, but Meerkat going to get away. Spirit Ball not going to come from Lassis. Lassis should be able to find that kill with the last Wind Gust and in hand to trade it out 1-for-1, but it's not what Eager would have wanted. They would have wanted a clean kill.
Meerkat knew he was going to die, though. He walked away from DJ Pernicus, just walked into Lassis, and made sure that DJ could walk out of that very, very safely.
Zatman does have Transcendence online now, did rotate to the mid lane just in case that aggression continued. He's already is at 14 stacks already? So he's got a big lead already in terms of stacking over this Medusa.
He started it though, so he didn't go Desto at all. He just wanted to get his Transcendence online as fast as possible, so he could stack this, and this is a very good item for Ullr.
Blink Cataclysm in the mid lane, and there's a blink from Dare to Care too, looking for the damage onto the best. He does manage to Path of Flames away. Lassis looking to close the gap with the Wind Gust to silence her by a second. The Spirit Ball does not connect. Meanwhile, Pernicus in the backside is getting Dare to Care low, and so is Lassis. Who's the squirrel going on? Well, they both went for the same kill, and Aurora picks it up.
That's a smart choice. I mean, the kill was secured by Aurora, but diving Dare to Care might have been a little bit dangerous. You saw him walking to tower. By the time that he would have reached him, he would have been under tower, and Geb was there as well. Could have potentially knocked him up. I think it was a smart choice not to go for Dare to Care, just to go for the same target.
Cognitive Game getting themselves off to a flying start, which is very important for them in this matchup against Eager. If they want to be taken seriously this season and seen as a threat, they have to beat teams like Eager, and that's the same for Eager as well, to be honest.
It's definitely the same for Eager. Eager is clearly the favored team going into this matchup, and if they want to breach the top of North America, especially considering their early game is pretty dominant, Serqet having a lot of mobility and gank potential, Ymir also just a huge CC bot, a lot of high base damage, and Isis just the highest pressure mid in the game. Eager, they've been trying to force stuff, but Cog's been the one responding in kind. Well,
left-hand side is a big rotation, sorry, to the solo lane right now. Dedicate is below half health, so he's thinking of the side of safety. They're going to pick up the blue buff with Omega, and his good buddy Polar Bear Mike to soak some experience over there as we still 3-1 at 8 minutes in.
These Spirit Balls coming out from Lassus have been huge. We've seen him hit every single long-range Spirit Ball that he's sent out.
Which is the one that, well, he didn't get him killed, but he missed the kill onto the best because of it. It wasn't an easy one to land by any stretch of the imagination. And now we're going to see him just continue to farm up this mid lane. Has used the Medjais and Beads one online. The best in response also gone the same path, but did pick up Beads and Aegis. That Aegis should help him out a little bit, especially when he's got so much CC to deal with this game.
Yeah, Best has done a nice job of recovering after being pressured very heavily early on. And that's really on to DJ Pernicus as well, rotating into that lane and keeping him alive. And actually a dive on the mid lane here. Aurora, though, going to miss the belly flop. And Cog realizing that they can't keep up that fight.
Well, but on the right-hand side, Meerkat's going to get caught out of position into a Frost Breath as well. He does shield bash himself away.
Last breath won't kill.
The poison is not going to be enough. The wall is down for a few more seconds. But there's the mobility as we tune in with the mid lane. Pernicus around the back looking for Lassis.
Oh, he missed. Oh, he just barely missed, and Lass is going to have a little bit of help. DJ's going to ult into the air, but he's going to just have to escape. DJ Pernicus just... The dash was just barely off, and most of the flurry of acorns wasn't able to connect. Lassus would have died if DJ had just been a pixel or two the other direction.
Once again, though, look where Zatman was for that engagement. He managed to rotate all the way over. He's trying to support his team and make these rotations as quick as possible. Still not missing farm, and Medusa needs to be careful here because Kabam's going to get aggressed on.
He's going to have to ult, going to have to use the CC immunity, and there it does. Perfect timing. Kabam just
nice
escaping that
Polar Bear
game.
Mike, though, just to immediately release Zatman from that Petrify to give him the shield so he can continue aggressive if he wanted to, but Kabam played that well for that gank.
You know, speaking of that, though, you take a look and Zatman 0-0-0, Kabam 0-0-0, but Zatman already has a 400 gold lead on him, so he's been completely out farming and pushing Kabam out of this lane. And you could take a look just at these last hits, 98 coming out from Zatman, as opposed to the 72, or 100 now compared to the 70 of Kabam.
I mean, his rotations to mid lane have allowed him to soak a bit more experience there as well, is why you'll see the lead established more than not. Kabam being forced back to base. He'll miss about 2 minions, hopefully, over in that left-hand lane if you're the side of Eager, or 1 or 0 if you're the side of Cognitive right now. Right hoppies do go down, 2 Cognitive. Left, Lassis in position to take these. Best may be able to contest. Not in time.
No, and he's not going to want to. You know, Cog, they're really starting to enter, I think, their strongest point here. They have huge team fighting ults, which is going to be very good for this mid-game scenarios, especially once the Gold Fury is started up or kind of positioned around. We haven't seen any team jockeying for it too much or trying to get information. It seems to be just picking players off has been the main focus.
Blue buffs are available on the right-hand side. You can see the Deathcare's in position to start that as soon as it spawns. Pernicus, though, will be taking this one and giving it over to his good buddy Meerkat in the solo lane. There's nothing much to talk about here because at the moment the solo laners and the junglers are the ones that have been paired up the most so far. The jungler's getting a lot of ganks off on this solo lane.
Yeah, and we've actually seen a lot of action in mid and the duo lane as well. Just the junglers have been all over the map. Care and DJ Pernicus are both very aggressive players and like to set up. You know, we talk about how Anister really likes to farm for Cloud9. Care and DJ, they like to gank. They like to force fights and force fights often.
And they're both on very mobile gods to do that as well. Ratotoskr and Serqet, respectively.
Both have Blink as well.
Big setup in mid lane here because you can see Gab round the corner there, played by Ullr. Mikey was looking for a possibility to set something up, but he won't find anything for the time being. Care, though, he's got himself in a position where he could look for Kabam, and they're going to blink in, force the beads and the petrify early, and he's already going to go down before anyone can rotate into support. But they're a little bit low. Will we see the rat up? The rat is up. The rat is down.
He's going deep, though. Great stun coming out for Polar Bear Mike. They're going to stop DJ Pernicus's aggression. Lassus also rotating in. And DJ Pernicus not going to be able to find any return kills. They're going to take Kabam 1-for-0.
Nice pick by Care more than anything else. It was a good blink into immediate kiss.
Yes.
And they forced beats and petrify.
Perfect. It was a perfect CC combo. The second that Petrify ult came out, you saw Care immediately ult. He wasn't going to get hit by the stun, and he forced Kabam into Zapman once he was at CC. His CC immunity ended.
Lassus has to beat, gets a silence off, Intoxicate did connect on the backside, circle protection will heal, and Polar Bear Mike is there with a shield and a knock-up to disengage Lassus from that situation, but it was beats one wasted there.
The counter engages and rotations from both teams have been on point. You see Geb there, able to immediately get the shield off onto Lassus. He was probably going to live anyway, but he was there to support in case that Cog wanted to dive any deeper. Completely negated that.
Very big rotations from both teams, both of them on par and trying to keep up. Meerkat just going to ward up his solo lane now. He's seen the aggression that Care has been putting on the map. Doesn't want to see any more monkey business over in this lane, or rather scorpion business, as we should say.
I was about to say, there's no Humbats in this game.
Okay, beat you to it. 30 minutes in though, and both these sides making a rotation to right again for these Harpies. Will we see a fight? Potentially it's 3v3 if they go for it.
They're both setting up.
And the Hunters are even rotating too, so just keep an eye on this.
Polar Bear Mike, he's actually going to go CC immune and dodge that there, and he's looking to fight, but he's going to get under half very quickly.
Very quickly indeed. He's not going to panic and use his ultimate though. Zapman in mid lane. Kabam is taking the left-hand Harpies though, so this will be a 1-for-1 trade in terms of Harpies. It does go in favor of Eager though, just because more of them soaked experience and shared it, whereas Kabam got all that experience for himself. It will help him out against Zapman though.
Especially after he was already getting out-farmed when both Hunters were 0-0-0, and then Zapman was able to get a kill with the help of Care. So we do see Zapman a pretty significant lead in that duo lane right now.
Are you surprised by how this game's gone so far? Did you expect it to be a slower pace game or one side to really take a big lead early?
It's not a slower pace game. I thought it would have been this much action, but what I'm really surprised about is the amount of kills or the lack of kills. Only 3 for 3, considering we've had, 4, 5, 6 team fights already. Both these teams are doing a good job of escaping the ganks and the pressure that's been put onto them.
Omega, most gold in the game right now. Considering he got ganked early on, has come back nicely. Ymir does have the potential with that Glacial Strike, though, to clear the wave out in one go, pretty much. So, not much gold wasted to the likes.
He's done a great job of recovering. He was 500 gold down in that solo lane, now 500 gold up. So, Omega out-farming Meerkat pretty effectively right now. And you can see he has the breastplate online and just finished the winged blade. That's going to be a huge pickup against how many slows we see coming out from Cog.
Well, we do see a bit of play over in this left-hand lane. In the jungle, though, Isis needs to watch a position, and Lassus getting aggressed on by Pernicus. Has to use circle protection,
dead.
But he's going to be bursted down before he can get it off. And now Care is trying to make this one pay for it. Going to force the beads on Pernicus, but I think that's all she... No, is it?
He doesn't have enough mana for it. Oh, no, just enough mana. And it looks like Best could fall here, but once again, a great job by Cognitive Gaming to stop the aggression.
Omega is on the way over here, though, as well as Meerkat is here in
Gold Fury?
tow. Is it going to be called for the Gold Fury? I mean, you do have Omega on Ymir. His Gold Fury control very strong, has the ability to burst it heavily.
I don't like
and he's
this.
on zone duty now. He's going to get a double freeze off. Kabom's down to just below half health there. Zoning out. The Gold Fury gets reset. Omega still tanky enough to be that far forward.
Yeah, Ullr doesn't like it either. You can already see them pulling off of it. But now a huge fight coming in. DJ Pernicus going in deep. He's going to miss his ult, though, and Zapman's going to spot him out. Just missed the stun, and it looks like neither team, after a couple miss abilities, want to keep this fight up. Aurora, though.
Omega. They're going to try and burst him down is the question here. They got some good poke onto him, but still he's tanking there.
The freeze.
The Glacial Strike does damage. Intoxicate does make him more drunk, which allows Best and Pernicus to clean up house.
Yeah, they were all stacked. DJ Pernicus and the Best there. Huge combination, finding those players in that clutch, and now Zapman gonna have to dash away. Cognitive Gaming, they wipe 3. Lassus and Zapman are full, and a lot of low players on Cog. They're gonna start up this Gold Fury. Can Lassus get there in time? Doesn't look like it. Cog, they're gonna take that.
Take a big win for themselves. 7-4 is the /9. Bring up the charts, please. Experience 4,500 in their favor. Gold just under 2K at the moment, so gold isn't something to write home about, but that experience they've gained off that engagement has really helped them out a lot.
And you could just see the strength. We talked about it earlier, this mid-game teamfight comp coming out from Cognitive Gaming, the big AoEs they have. The second that Ullr tried to fight in that narrow pathway behind the Gold Fury, Omega hit a big freeze, which, he kind of baited his team, because that looked like a good fight for Ullr after hitting the 2-man freeze. But speaking of that, Best could get caught out.
Well, Pernicus is a little bit caught out there as well, but Best actually ages as the poison. Is it enough?
Nice, just barely.
My goodness.
He's going to avoid 1 tick, and that clearly would have finished him off. Last trying to snipe, though.
Oh, no. That was close.
That was close.
That was real close. I just held my breath for a moment. I forgot I was commentating.
Best was definitely in the shop, though. He saw it. You could see it coming pretty clearly. He had to close the shop and dash away.
Yeah, just to realize he was in an awkward position. Ullr going to siege mid a little bit here. They can't really get too much pressure on the tower. But for me, that whole engagement came down to Aurora more than anything. His Intoxicate, when they were all stuck in the narrow tunnel, it allowed them just to set up and stop the damage from coming out. Pernicus, though, 5-0-2 now based off that, has got into Titan's Bane as his next item there. So looking for the extra penetrative skills available to him.
He's definitely just going for a ton of burst damage. You can see that there's a lot of defense built up on Ullr, right? They have that Ymir, and then on top of that, actually Aurora continuing to be aggressive here in the mid.
Good shield coming out from Polar Bear Knight just to soak up some of the damage there more than anything else. Keep Lasses at that full health situation. Aurora doing a good job so far, 1-0-3. Polar Bear Mike only involved in 1 assist so far, has been picked off once himself as well.
Although he hasn't been in the fights, he's done a lot to counter Cog's aggression. Cog, there's been multiple times that they probably should have had a couple kills cleanly, but Polar Bear Mike coming in with some really clutch shields.
Zapman at the moment is still 500 gold ahead of Kabom as the aggression of jungle onto Aurora one more time. He's
That's a lot onto
Bacchus
Aurora.
At the moment, the ultimate down, he's just going to flop back to Kabom. And like you said, it was a lot without finding anything.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they were planning there. I guess they thought they had the burst potential to take out Aurora. But Aurora a little bit too tanky. He's got Sovereignty and Heart Ward already finished at 18 minutes. He's looking pretty good right now.
Going to be a big ask. And let's just go back to that Hunter matchup, because at the moment, Kabom 0-1-3 did get the Gold Fury, but Zapman, level
Still
17,
down.
still up in gold.
Yeah, and this is just the power of Zapman. He's so experienced. He's probably one of, if not the most efficient hunter in Smite right now. He knows how to get experience and gold across the map. He's been playing at the highest level for so long. So even if he's not finding kills, he's finding the gold to get ahead.
Zap does manage to help bring down that tower in mid lane. He's going to lose the one left for trade, though I don't believe the full Kabom could do as much as he did. And with that free farm on for him, he's going to catch him up a little bit in terms of gold there for the time being until Zap gets back over for the wave. But Kabom did a good job of returning that tower.
DJ Pernicus, he's looking for Zap's rotation. Zap, he takes the back camps and is going to jump out. Is DJ really going to try and dive this?
I don't think he's looking
He's
to dive.
alone.
I guess he was
Oh, he's waiting for Zap to push up. One more wave.
Should have caught that out there. He's going to get through with some poke, but that's all she wrote in terms of that. In the jungle, though, right Harpies, there's a fight as the best. Does bring down Dare to Care. They're looking for Lasses too, but a shield for Polar Bear Mike will buy him a second. Bloodshed gets stopped from a great Cataclysm, and Lasses turns the damage around. Omega was shopping, and in the jungle, Zap's in trouble.
Yeah, Zap, though, he's going to continue to go. DJ Pernicus, I thought he was going to leave, but he stuck around, and there it is. After that team fight ended, all of Ygr rotated to help out Zapman. But Polar Bear Mike, huge Cataclysm to stop Cog.
Shield followed by the Cataclysm, not
Yep.
just the Cataclysm itself, but that stopped the bludgeon damage that would have spelled Lasses having to definitely be out of that engagement.
Let's take a look at a mid lane comparison real quick, because we haven't talked about this matchup. This is Best's return to mid lane. After he left Dignitas, he moved over to the solo lane position for Denial Esports. But for the fall split, he's back in mid against his old teammate, Lasses.
And the funny thing is, Lasses used to play jungle for this, so he should know Bless's game style and how he plays, just based off being the jungler for it at the same time. Some understanding should be there from the best of what Lasses likes to do, whether he's overly aggressive, whether he's passive in the early stages. These two, obviously it's only 2 games played each, but they both know each other well.
Yeah, aggression here. Polar Bear Mike could get bursted. He's sitting in the ice stall, going to heal up a little bit, but the Best going to snipe him with the last meteor available.
Best did manage to find that one. Kronos Pendant was just finished by him as well. He already had that spear online for a while there and did go back and pick up the 4 beats. Best having a good game for himself, 3-0-4. Cognitive Gaming, the surprise winner, well, not leaders at the moment is what I want to say, of this game, with the God Fury respawning here and a teleport coming out from Meerkat. It looks like they're going to try and burst this one down as well.
Yeah, with the Ice Assault forced, only Zapman's really going to be able to try and fight this here. And you can see him rotating in, but there's way too much burst. Cog are going to take this for free.
And with that, let's have a look at the graphs and see where the experience and gold lead lies. 3,500 gold, now 7,500 experience. Team Ygr up against it a little bit here. How do you feel about that a bit to late game, though, looking at Ygr side at the moment?
Looking at Ygr's side, there's a lot of control on their team. They don't have a ton of burst damage. They've got a lot of ability damage that should have carried them through the early game and maybe through the mid game, but late game, I don't really give it to either team. No one really has a very strong hyper carry, because Serqet, while very good at picking players in team fights, it's very dangerous to attach yourself with last breath onto someone.
Panicus trading with Dertica a little bit, gets out of dodge using that ultimate to disengage, using those trees to his advantage. But I guess hyper carry wise, I think we can look at Medusa as being the closest thing to a hyper carry in this game.
For Cog, yeah, it's really just the hunters. For both teams, they're going to be the ones putting out a lot of damage. But Agni, once he gets a lot of damage online, once he gets to the 600 magical power when he's 6-slotted, he becomes very dangerous as well, especially with the ranged bombs, and he's going to be able to shut down Lasses very quickly.
But at the same time, if Lasses hits full build, one Spirit Ball can just end somebody's life in half a heartbeat with the amount of burst that they can get off from it. So keep an eye as this game continues. It's not gone quick enough just yet to spell lights out soon, but Lasses gets picked up in the jungle here, has to circle protection away. He's going to heal himself and get away from that bomb, but now Omega with this rotation, he's in an awkward position.
Yeah, Omega trying to save Lasses, actually zones himself out. Shield, though, going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. The Best and DJ are fighting Dare to Care, and the Best is going to find the kill. Meerkat, he's going to get shield popped on him and just try and get out of this fight.
Polar Bear Mike did work in that fight. Zapman still feeling himself as he usually does.
He realized very quickly he couldn't stick around. You saw him instantly stance switch and look for the jump.
Good the play by Polar Bear Mike there. He got a great shield off, followed by a good 3-man Cataclysm to stop the aggression, looking for the target, allowing Lasses to get back to base. We may see a dive in mid lane here by Cognitive in a moment. Keep an eye on Aurora.
Meerkat backed at low health, able to teleport back in, and him being full here is going to be a big, crucial part. Dare to Care still dead for 10 seconds. DJ Pernicus looping around the side. Does he have... No blink available for him, but there's a blink by Omega.
Omega does find the kill to the Best already. The burst was huge. Now that massive ultimate comes out as well, and Lasses manages to pick up the kill onto Pernicus around the side. In the mid lane, Meerkat is here as well. Needs to watch out for the Spirit Ball, which does connect to Mega's wall. Stops his team, unfortunately, from going in more aggressive. Lasses continuing the chase, but
yeah, Meerkat's pretty tanky for that, and that was just a great... That was just great coordination from Ygr. They knew that the Best beats were down and they picked them, and you can see here they got the win. This is a very risky call.
The call for Ygr to go for this Fire Giant right now. Aurora knows what's up. He could just see by the way Lasses is positioned. They're going to let them take damage from it first of all, but how low is it? Well, it's already at 4,000 HP. Meerkat around the back's going to get picked here. Surrounded, going to re-engage for a second to buy himself a moment. The wall, though, is going to stop his escape route. And disappear he does.
But they use circle protection, which makes going for this Fire Giant a lot riskier. You're not going to be able to reduce the damage from it, and you're not going to have that very instant burst. Aurora's up, DJ has spawned, Best has spawned, and Medusa still has Petrify available.
Aurora does get frozen, a little bit of damage from Glacial Strikes, but tanky enough to hold off. Lasses
already under 2K.
Aurora, the Toga hero we need! Ygr get the God Fury, They'll take his life down as well, and there's not a whole lot Cognitive can do about it. This game's turned on its head.
Ymir played that so well. It was a little bit risky there at the end. They were trying to stop Aurora from getting in, but they had 5 members turn on the Fire Giant instantly. Everyone used their abilities to either CC Aurora or secure the Fire Giant, and it was 1 versus 5. He wasn't able to take it.
Now the funny thing is, because they've got that Fire Giant now, Kevin, what we should see is that the gold should start going in Eager's favor. Experience, though, is still going to be in Cognitive's lead for the time being. You don't get that much from taking towers.
You don't get that much experience from taking towers, and everyone's almost level 20
Very
on
true.
COG. So the experience difference, it really doesn't matter for COG right now. It's just Eager trying to catch back up. And with this Fire Giant, at the end of it, most of them should all be level 20, outside of probably Dare to Care and Polar Bear Mike. Omega, Zatman, already level 20. It's really about getting Lassus to that point and getting Dare to Care and Polar Bear a couple extra levels. Now, they're just going to group up, try and siege towers, and take the next Gold Fury spawn. I don't think they want to fight COG too much. I think they want to force COG out. They don't want to force an engagement unless COG get out of position.
Well, they don't know when the Gold Fury is up for the time being, the boys of Eager. They'll see it momentarily because it spawns in about 10 seconds time now as they start to siege up the duo lane here. Zatman pushing in the wave, and now with the Gold Fury set to spawn, Polar Bear Mike knows it, as does Dare to Care. Maybe they'll look for Aurora, but Aurora going aggressive on Zat.
Oh wow, he's going really aggressive. And actually a blink in by Polar Bear Mike, gonna find 3 with the Cataclysm. Omega blinks in as well. DJ Pernicus is deep shell popped though, and Cognitive Gaming are just gonna back out of this one.
Pernicus got poked pretty hard, and Pernicus actually going to take to
He
the
got
sky in
scared.
his tree
He
to
was
get
scared.
really out. They will take the tier 1 tower on the left here. The boys of Eager going to continue this march with their double Guardian composition. Will they look for the tier 2 here? They've got 1 million on its way. Aurora and Meerkat, the only defenders. Kabomb on the backside though with that Petrified. Look at the jungle. Pernicus is still there.
Best is going to look for a big ult here. He's going to want to get a lot of people, and they're all grouped up to Omega. They're going to take out Pernicus, but Best laying down 3 bombs onto the team. Soaker Protection going to be able to heal up most of the damage, though, and Aurora getting poked at as well, just barely there. Eager's going to take that fight and take the tier 2.
Only Omega below half health, but the Fire Giant will start regenerating him. The double Guardians means they can continue the siege with a minion wave there too. They can keep work going. Meerkat bees are now on cooldown, but a great initiation from him to keep the pressure on with the Best bombs on the backside. They're in trouble, Eager, and the Best does get the damage from the dart to pick up a kill. A wall from Omega will buy the team a second, but they're still chasing.
Yeah, they're going to try and find Omega. His wall should be up here in a couple seconds. Aurora, or excuse me, the Best has a bomb. He's going to beads that, take a lot of damage. Omega, he slowed them enough though. 4 seconds slow on that Glacial Strike.
Not the worst situation for Cognitive though, Adonis. I mean, they lost a tier 1 and tier 2 tower for the Fire Giant, but that Fire Giant's going to start wearing off soon.
Oh, that was so good of Eager.
Oh, they got
all of COG was busy chasing Omega, trying to find him, and in response, Eager, who should not have taken that Gold Fury that cleanly, COG should have definitely looked to check it. They're able to get it though.
So now it's 11 to 8. Let's have a look at the experience in gold, because we can see now that Eager have the lead by 2k. About the same differential really that we saw Cognitive go ahead. Experience closing to even doesn't matter as much as people are approaching level 20 now. And the next Fire Giant is where this game will probably end up going to, because it spawns again in under 2 minutes.
A lot of power items being completed here. Golden Bow coming out for Ratotoskr. Spirit Robe for Meerkat, going to increase his tankiness. What just got finished though
Do you see a Soul Reaver then?
is Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver.
On the other side as well, Lassus
Yeah.
just finished his too.
They both have Soul Reaver now. These mages in the mid lane we mentioned, they could be the backbone of this team alongside the Hunters. Hunter-wise, Crit is online fully for Zatman in terms of that Rage. Rage is probably being worked on by Kabomb here as well. Only got that dagger online.
Great.
Has got for Heavenly Agility there as well.
I'm just saying, Isis's Spirit Ball
Hurts.
with Soul Reaver is now Spirit Bomb. I'm just gonna say
It's
it.
very effective. And in the jungle right now, Eager looking to ward up. Best giving away that he had a
Oh wow,
ward in that position.
already half. Only 2 bombs used, and Dare to Care doesn't have any Fire Giant regen anymore. He's gonna be forced out there. He's gonna have to soak up some jungle or back, and he's gonna choose to back.
They did telegraph though that they had a ward in that area as they look for Dare to Care them, but that's not going to be too unhappy for Cognitive Game, because they can now reaggress and start getting ward position themselves. Meerkat feeling like he should stick around. Dare to Care did not have to base though, thanks to Bombers. Aurora surrounded now as he went in deep, didn't find the flop. Around the back, Pernicus is coming. Eager doing a good job of grouping together at the moment.
Aurora, though, going to miss that belly flop. All 5 members of Eager are grouped up, and they're going to turn on Aurora very quickly here. They need to be careful, though. COG could very easily turn this on them All ultimates still available, though.
They're trying to poke down the tankiest member of that team, Ullr, that Bacchus. He can do some good initiations.
Meerkat's alone.
Gonna get picked there, has to beads away, the wall did not connect. And the boys of Eager slowly pushing back with the CC chain they have.
Yeah, both teams, they're just focusing on their poke right now. Omega, though, gonna try and force the beats of Kabam. Kabam holding them, though. Kabam holding his beats for a while.
He wasn't looking, gonna get a Petrify off, but there's an ultimate from Darecare that'll flip him back into dangerous territory. The best will find one in trade, though, as Kabam does fall. The freeze lands on two, and the wall is good to slow them down. Pern takes in the sky, as Ullr's doing his best with his meat stick to hold him off. He'll fall to lasses.
Best, he has all his bombs available, or most of them available, but he's not going to be able to fight this. All 4 members of Eager rolling down this tier 2 tower.
31 minutes in, and Polar Bear might lead in the charge, and it's Lasses who blinks forward looking for the Spirit Ball, doesn't find it. Great stuff from the best, though, to get his team out of a bad, tricky situation. The tier 2 will fall.
That's going to be clean, and Eager, they're going to back up. They're not going to go for Fire Giant here. They don't want to be too risky. When they do go for it, though, oh no, it looks like they want to start it.
Hey, this is James Bond Zapman right now. 007, leading his team from the forefront there to that Fire Giant. Pernicus is here, Meerkat just teleported in. Can they stop this?
It's going to be close. A silence out on a Meerkat. He's already stuck in place. DJ Pernicus, he's going to blink in. They're looking for Lasses. Lass is going to fall. Omega chanting that ultimate, and actually DJ Pernicus dashes back into it. Omega takes him out in response. The best has rotated in, though. Zapman, fantastic age, is going to keep himself alive. Life stealing up. Great shield coming out from Polar Bear. Mike and Omega. He's going to find the double kill. Best, the only one right now trying to contest this Fire Giant.
They're going to blink on him again. Darecare was looking for the Cobra's Kiss. Will find the last breath as well. In towards Omega, who gets the freeze, and Zapman finally gets credited with a kill. Looking for Kabam now, who has to beat away. Great ultimate
one
from
auto.
Skill, and now we might have to pick up at least Gab. No, the wall from Omega will save him.
Kabam whiffed that there. He needed one auto to finish off Zapman. He misses it. Zapman able to get his jump off, and just so many close moments in this extended engagement at the Fire Giant.
Extended engagement, but it's Eager that came out on top of that one. Realistically, their gold lead is still further ahead now because of these as well. Couple of kills going over to the team. They're all starting to reach full build. I believe that's almost Soul Weaver finish for Omega as well, who's having a great game on a solo Ymir.
He's having a fantastic game. A lot of control coming out from him. And he's just been constantly diving Kabam and freezing him. Every chance he can, he freezes Kabam out, and Eager focuses him down. He's trying to get those beads out, so when Kabam finally gets out of position, he can get soloed down.
But the amount of damage that Omega can put out with that build as well. Ethereal Staff is the only really damaging item alongside Choose the Magi. The rest really has been Breastplate of Valor and Midgardian Mail just to be tanky enough to stay on the front line and keep reapplying damage.
Yeah, Omega, I believe, has 3,500 health or 3,400 health right now with that build.
Very
something
strong
absurd.
Cognitive, though, gonna try and contest this. I expect
no, they're not contesting this, but what they're trying to do is gank Omega in the right lane, but Omega is so tanky. Can we hover on him real quick here? Actually, he's going to turn this around very quickly,
no,
but I mean...
in a row. No, well, there's a blink from... Sorry, Darecare's actually going to go aggressive there. Fine Meerkat in an awkward spot. He's still got the Eagles Rally available. Will dodge out the Spirit Ball from Isis as Pernicus comes into trade. Doesn't find anything again. Belly flop from Ullr, though. Will find Zapman on the back, who's going to get
Pern's in trouble.
Force from Polar Bear, and they're still looking for Pern.
Pern, can he get off in time? No, Zapman finds it. Omega gonna channel that ultimate, and a great wall gonna lock Kabam in place, who's gonna fall. The best raining meteors over the wall, trying to do anything, but it's not gonna be enough. Aurora's gonna jump over, but Zapman and Darecare are gonna follow him. He pops Intoxicate, trying to get out, but it will be Darecare to find that kill, and Eager, they take 3 kills.
Cognitive Gaming, though, this game have had the upper hand for most of it, Kevin, but now it's been turned on its head. Eager, the ones in the commanding seat. Now they can get this Fire Giant, look to close it out. Only the best and Meerkat are here to try and defend it. I don't think they're going to get an option to try and get in either.
No, and Eager has done a fantastic job of dropping the Fire Giant the second it looks like Cog could potentially contest it, and then finding picks. This time, though, Cog just going to be looking to farm. Eager going to take the second Fire Giant of the game, blink in, and Best just very quickly going to dash out of there.
Going to dash out on the tier 2 tower in middle lane. The final one going to be sieged down here by Eager as well. They've had a great performance so far. One thing to note, that their team fights have been on point more than anything else. We saw one team fight, the Gold Fury, that went badly for them when they channeled down one area, but since then they've won every single team fight pretty much.
Yeah, they haven't won it just like flat out,
Yeah,
but they
it's
have done
extended.
we get 3 kills, they get 2. Every single team fight, it's not a huge win, but it's a small win over COG.
And you can
COG
see
finds
that
a couple things, just not enough.
by the scoreline in terms of kills, 13-16, we saw it was quite a few kills ahead for Cognitive at one stage in this game. But slowly but surely, with what you're saying is, Eager have slowly clawed themselves now into the 16-13 tagline.
Yeah, can we take a look at the graphs real quick? It's not going to be a huge drop. You could just see that. Every single fight, there's just a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a dip over the past 10 minutes.
Over and over again, it's happened. Blink freeze from Omega, gonna catch 2 there,
Forces
forcing the
Kabam
beads on
speeds.
Kabam. Kabam with a Petrify does connect to Polar Bear Mike, who's not going to mind that as DJ does take to the sky. Aurora's in a lot of trouble now, and the penetration's starting to hurt him a little bit. He's not as tanky as he once was. This team still chasing down the Fat Man as the best tries to
They
retreat to the
invested a
backside.
lot. They invested a lot, though, which is very good for Cognitive Gaming. Zatman going very deep. Dare to Care, though, he's there to bail him out just in case DJ wanted to get a little cheeky.
Now on the left-hand side, the Phoenix is going to be assaulted here by the full might of Eager. The 2 frontline tanks going to zone him out as Omega tanks, Polar Bear Mike, will also be there for assistance. Initiation from Meerkat there wasn't the best spot for them, really. That's going to be on cooldown now. Eager just backing away, waiting for that Eagles rally totem pole to fall down.
The best needs to get Rod of Tahuti online ASAP. Just not enough damage output coming out from him here. Eager, they're actually going to blink in. Omega looking for the freeze, not going to connect. And Omega caught in deep, but he's just so tanky. There's nothing that, you know, COG can do about
And the
it.
circle of protection, they're just going to soak up some of that damage and then heal it back up. Meerkat on the backside does get caught out quite badly there. He will fall down to Omega's Glacial Strike once again. I go boom, says Omega. And with that, Aurora has to retreat away. Zatman will find himself that kill after the Phoenix falls, looking for the best, doesn't find the axe. They're going to retreat and head for that middle Phoenix, but Pernicus has gone in.
Yeah, Pernicus actually dives into 5, escapes, took a lot of poke, but not able to find anyone with him. Best here.
Poor best man. When you're in mid lane Agni and you can see all those low health targets, I just need one bomb, guys. But getting himself in that position is just too difficult. Got blinked on again, has to path of flames away. Good presence of mind from the best. Turns the damage around with the stun, but he didn't see the blink from Lasses coming. Deletion.
That wasn't even Soul Reaver. I mean, that was just raw point blank Spirit Ball damage. And now Eager, they got that pick on the best, who got very greedy, just trying to do back camps, and they're going to take a second Phoenix because of it.
We'll take that Phoenix, and now they'll be able to swing around for the right if they so choose to push this lane down. Zap, going to retreat into the jungle there. Speed buff and blue is up, so they can drop those down as well. Zap could look to pick that one up for himself. Fire Giant, though, will end shortly.
Zatman's had a very quietly strong game, 4-0 and 12, been in every fight, but hasn't dove super hard looking for the kills, but as a result, hasn't died. And the effectiveness between him and Kabam, I think, is just worlds apart right now. Kabam has not been able to get anything going, but I put that more on Omega doing a fantastic job of locking him down every single fight. Omega's target is very clearly Kabam. He's the first person he blinks on, forces the freeze, and what he does also is he also throws up that wall. The big weakness about Medusa compared to Ullr is that the escape doesn't go over anything. It's not a leap, it's simply a dash. It's a movement ability that doesn't clear any objectives.
The Phoenix is being down though. Cognitive Gaming got to get themselves into a situation now where this next Fire Giant is the be-all and end-all of this game for them. If they don't manage to defend this, they're probably looking at a loss here to Eager, who have the commanding drive of this game now. Good turnaround from Eager though, considering they were down so far in this game to begin with. They've done a good job of consistently fighting well to get themselves into this spot.
They have a huge gold lead, but it's not even capped. There's still members on their team trying to finish off their build. Serqet looking for her second crit item. Isis, it looks like finishing off Toth. She already has Soul Reaver. And then Zatman, he's completed his build. And it looks like Geb just looking for the last little bit on his end. Soul Reaver most likely.
Here we go, the Fire Giant is about to be sieged at the moment. Zatman just going to throw a ward over the wall there and start dealing the damage any second now. Omega in position with Polar Bear Mike on the side of Cognitive in case they need to zone them out. Actually, further forward is Dare to Care just lurking in the jungle to make sure nobody turns up to deal with this, and nobody on the side of the Cognitive are going to be able to get here in time.
I like this decision by COG.
So
going into this jungle would have been really rough. They can fight as a team. They have a giant AoE comp. The second they split up trying to get into the Fire Giant, I think is when they start to lose these fights. As a 5-on-5 though, they can definitely win. And a lot of it's going to have to come down to the best in Kabam. Kabam needs to have a big team fight.
The last stand for Cognitive Gaming is here. Eager gonna be looking for the pick if they can find it. Spirit Ball connects with a roar. The crits are good onto him as well, as we follow along with the boys of Eager. Sieges down, blinking, double blinking. They're looking for a roar. He's going to get deleted soon. I'm sure the circle of protection will be enough for that one. Spirit Ball wasn't even needed there as he falls down.
No, and Kabam, he's going to hit Petrify on only a couple. Meerkat, he's going to fall as well. Spirit Ball, Lassus finds a double kill. Dare to Care also finds his own double kill. 4 members down, Blinking by Omega, beats by the best. And that's going to be 4-0, and there's no stopping Eager as they roll into this Titan.
No stopping Eager, but Cognitive Gaming, they put up a great fight to start this game off. But Eager are the ones that come out on top and find themselves with the first win of this set.
Yeah, kind of what we expected, Eager coming out on top. But Cog, like you said, looking very strong for the first half of the match.
The whole early game for that was very well controlled by them. They got an early lead in terms of kills. They had that great fight just near the Gold Fury where they managed to find that pick onto Omega that ended up challenging the whole team into an awkward position.
Yeah, and I think the big problem was the extended gold lead. It always seemed like Cog was looking for more damage. And the fact that Soaker Protection negated a lot of it with the damage reduction and including the burst heal afterwards, they just couldn't kill enough. They had all these AoE team fighters, but they couldn't lock anyone specifically down.
Well, let's have a look at the first blood at the beginning of this game. Obviously, it was Cognitive that picked this one up, looking for the pick onto Omega, which worked out well. And Omega, considering the start he had a big impact on this game. But good work by Pernicus here to duke out that Frost Breath and pick up that kill.
I like this, really getting your solo laner ahead. He was able to put that pressure onto the solo lane and then be like, all right, Meerkat, I don't need to touch you for the rest of the game. But we did see Omega actually swing back and have a 500 gold lead just on the out farm. And Omega really was the key there for locking down Kabam. And he's actually player of the game. The amount of control he brought out, and I believe he had actually one of the highest damages as well. Great job of zoning, fantastic walls, always baiting out beads before fights broke out, and he had a great game.
And 50, and give a little look at some of his plays here. Constantly Frost Breath in, getting walls down to cut off options of escape. His ultimate in decent position as well, and not scared to throw out those in-hands that a lot of people underestimate how much they do.
Yeah, especially once you start getting magical damage online, they do stack up, especially in conjunction with Frostbite there. Omega, great game coming out from him, really fitting in to this, this Eager roster. And we were talking about it, right?
And we mentioned about Ymir as well. We've not seen much Ymir Ymir solo from him before, really, when he was on the side of Cloud9. Not very often, if at all, I think.
I don't think I've ever seen him play it.
Played it for Eager before. Maybe this is one of Eager's gods that they like to use in the solo lane.
Yeah, word was that Kret was saying it was like plug and play with Omega, and Omega is, I don't want to say bending, but fitting in to Eager's core nicely.
Eager's core and play style, and it works nicely. Alpha Draft, though, let's have a look at the top performance from that game on the bottom of your screen. Omega, top of the shop. Zatman right behind him. Zatman, very quiet game from him in one aspect in terms of kills, but I really feel like he made a big impact that game.
He had a huge impact. Looking at the stats at the end of the game, I believe he was second in damage compared to the best, and I mean, that's Agni, you know. Kind of hard to outdamage an Agni.
That was one of those games from Eager where nobody underperformed, in my opinion.
Not a single person.
They all rallied together, did very well in the team fights, controlled the game after they fell so far behind at the beginning.
I really think that Polar Bear Mike was pivotal early game in shutting down Cognitive Gaming's aggressive
and it allowed
pace.
Omega to finally get to that standpoint where he could cause so many issues. We should be ready.